Hi, everyone. Welcome again to another wonderful episode of Carrying the One with Travis and Andy.
I'm Andy, and
I'm Travis.
welcome everybody. We got a good episode today. We're talking about hugs, halftime, and the headlines when politics meets pop culture. So,
Yeah.
in this episode, we break down the viral moment between Erika and JD Vance, which is just all over the media right now.
Oh, I thought you were going to say all over him, but
No, because I don't believe that. That's what we're going to get into. But
okay.
what really happened during that turning point event, what JD Vance said to the audience, and why the internet can't stop debating it. So then we shift gears to the upcoming Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show, exploring how politics and culture collide when artists take the biggest stage in America. Finally, we dive into your comments, unfiltered reactions from our page to highlight what people are really thinking across both sides of the spectrum. So from faith and freedom to fandom and fame, we unpacked what these viral stories reveal about the pulse of American culture in 2025. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir. I'm excited.
Travis, go ahead. Just kind of share the description of what you're seeing to our audio
It
audience.
looks like a loving, warm embrace between VP JD Vance and Erika Kirk. From here is what it looks like. And if I were to get this picture with no context, I would think this was pretty friendly.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into it fully. We've got the video of the full interaction, so let's go ahead and stream that live. Let's get that up there.
Okay, so here we go. We'll play the full interaction for you guys, and then we'll just go ahead and play it. And this video that was taken from this?
Yep.
Oh, okay, I see. Double back tap.
So let's take a pause right there. I counted 5-second hug. I mean, are people on the media are saying a lot of things about this, Travis? They're here. Let me just spit out some claims, right? Theorizing that JD Vance is wanting Erika Kirk to be his next wife after that hug. And they're following that up with the fact that after this turning point event, JD Vance wants his wife to convert to Christianity, or hopes that his wife converts to Christianity. His wife is Hindu, if you guys didn't know. And as well as this, there's a lot of negative backlash towards Erika Kirk, saying she hasn't grieved long enough. There's a part in the video where she says that JD Vance embodies similar qualities that are also with Charlie Kirk, her widowed husband. So that's what's going on right now, and the media can't get enough of it right now, talking about it and trying to frame the picture in this way. So you saw the hug.
Yeah, and so they're getting. I didn't realize that there was backstory with him in the comment of him wanting his wife to convert. That they're trying to bandwagon on to this. That was new to me.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I watched the whole clip. He does say that he hopes his wife converts to Christianity, but he's not forcing it. She goes to church with him on Sundays, and he states in there that he hopes she gets something out of it with him, like that she has a similar profound experience that he's had in church. So it's not to the extent that the media is painting it out to be, but you could see when they take these small clippets, or when we see the picture posted up there of that hug, I mean, it certainly can look that way, right?
Yeah, so not to be too sarcastic, but I did pull up over here something I want to share with you real
let's
quick.
take a look.
So this is a quick article I pulled up on hugs. So things you should know. We have a classic, a bear hug here. Let's see. Oh, side hug. Everyone knows the classic side hug. Hug from a friend, one-armed, and it breaks it down. But to me, it looked like your classic hug. I didn't see any
with the pat, right? With maybe like
yeah.
two pats
That's the
on
body
back.
language I was getting at. Is
Yeah.
the double back tap. I've never really liked a girl or been trying to woo her and gave her a double tap on the back because it conveyed the wrong message. So
Yeah.
and if they were gonna romanticize it, why would they do it publicly? Like, I mean, obviously they're the only two on stage here. They're aware that the eyes are only on them. It's not like they caught this candid or a hug like behind in the back that looked obviously friendly. This was a part of the stage direction. You're gonna walk out. You're gonna greet. You're gonna give him a hug, and then move on. You know,
Yeah.
to whatever they were doing here. So
And it's so shocking. 5 seconds of time is gaining so much media attention right now. Here comes Erika walking out, going past the podium. Trump's meeting her.
so there's, I mean, they know each other. They have been ran in the same circles for a good amount of time. He was obviously very close with Charlie.
Yep.
And as far as like his ideals and stuff, you know, they rode the same wagon on that one for sure. I think on a lot of things. But we're never afraid to disagree with one another.
Oh,
So you would assume that Erika has been around and knows JD pretty well.
She has. And in fact, Erika and JD Vance's wife, JD Vance's wife has been helping Erika throughout this whole process since she lost her husband. So they're also very close together. And, you know, another criticism that kind of comes in is people are saying that Erika Kirk, they even posted a meme of a Halloween costume of something along the lines that she's not grieving enough or something like that, like the lack of grief because she's wearing leather pants here. So people are being very self-critical.
Yeah,
It's
I did notice that, but I
Yeah.
think most male males would.
right. So it's interesting, man. You know, I don't see it from that side. I highly respect both of these people. And I don't see him as trying to kind of, you know, switch sides on his wife in favor of Erika Kirk.
So this is when I read it as news, when I look it up as news on this to see this is what they call it ad. So right here, NYT author makes chilling divorce prediction for JD Vance. Like this is considered a title. Like this is the article.
Yeah.
This is a prediction. Like, how is this news? This is pure opinion, isn't it? Like,
yeah. Well, what platform is this coming from that you're pulling this from? Oh,
Hindu Times. But so this is one example, maybe not the best
yeah.
place to get the news from, but the point I was trying to make is that when you look it up as, like, if I was just trying to figure out the event because I was hearing about it, like you said,
Yeah.
and so just in trying to find the clip or this whatever, I had to look it up, and it was funny, some of the titles you were getting for the article, you know, they're like that one saying like, oh, you know, divorce prediction in the future, like they're
Right. It's
what else are they
like,
gonna?
why are they trying to attack this publicly? But this is like typical like TMZ type news, right?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Welcome to TMZ.
We have the lowdown. Looks like JD and Erika got a thing going on.
Yeah, what's up with this hug? I mean, who's running their fingers through a man's hair? I can't remember the last time I did that, right?
So
that's kind of the mentality.
Let's really look at the body language here. So, okay, hand placement. Hers are both above the shoulder. He goes down for the lower back.
Yeah. Nothing at the
Double
butt.
tap. The behind the neck is it's a pretty intimate grab and a hug.
Yeah.
I
to
think.
hold somebody's head. Like
Yeah.
that.
It's not like for me, like that's like my babies, you know, even my wife. But I can't imagine hugging like a girlfriend with the head thing. That would just feel
Right.
a little too controlling.
No,
But then
I hear
from the female standpoint, that might be more normal because doing male to female, it changes it a little. It makes it a little different.
Well, plus the same thing here too is I want everyone to kind of picture like everything that's going on with Erika at this time. She just lost her husband in September, and then here we are at this show. She's now become the CEO of Turning Point, and something that her husband used to do was open mic regular old people to come on and have conversation. She just got the vice president of the United States to do this in Missouri at a Turning Point event. This is monumental. You know what I mean? So her emotion in that moment, I think, kind of insinuates where she's at when she's doing
Yeah.
that. Not necessarily that she's for Vance, like in that type of romantic way, but how happy she is to put all of this together and make this happen kind of shows in the hug to me.
Yeah, and again, there's that closeness there. They're not strangers, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and they're not strangers either. That's another key point to add there. So, but another thing I'd like to do is, I mean, this is monumental. I mean, I don't know of a vice president that has opened this type of dialogue with the public. So he has a lot of good things on here. I would encourage us. Let's play some of it, Travis. I mean, he
yeah.
talks about immigration and stuff on here. Let's hear his words.
There are people who want to come to the United States of America, and some of them, I'm sure, can enrich the United States of America by coming here, but we have got to get our overall numbers way, way down. Too many people have come into the United States of America. I am married to the daughter of immigrants who came to the United States in the 1980s. I do believe that some immigrants, many immigrants do in fact enrich the United States of America, but here's the problem.
I agree.
We don't even know how many illegal aliens we have. We don't even know. The best guess is probably 25, 30 million people. I've heard estimates as high as 50 million. When something like that happens,
50 million,
you've got to allow your own society to cohere a little bit, to build a sense of common identity, for all the newcomers to assimilate, the ones who are going to stay, to assimilate into American culture. Until you do that, you've got to be careful about any additional immigration, in my view.
Pause that note, because this is what other people will call as racist.
Yeah.
Right? But I really like his point. I really do. That's how you preserve the culture. You know, when he talks about that assimilation and making immigration much lower, like he is really like that's what it's about, preserving some of our culture here. They learn to assimilate and become American, and if we allow a flood to come in, then we lose that about ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We have a not necessarily a clear identity, but we do have, identity as Americans and our own culture that we do not, I would say, want to be railroaded. We want it to be respected. It's also kind of that ground zero I was talking about. We got to get back to that number zero, and then we can start bringing people in legally, and we can allow the country to be enriched by legal immigration.
Yeah.
Which would be wonderful. I mean, it's not. It's so hard because they want to put the two together in a single category. That if you are anti-immigration, then immediately you just do it because you don't like Hispanics. Everything else is off the table, or even your opinion as to why your own experience or loss is no longer irrelevant. Once they see that they can race bait or make it a race thing, then it all becomes about that instead of it being about the issues of it wouldn't matter where they're coming from. It's not your country necessarily. Legal immigrants come from China, sometimes through Mexico. We get them from other places too, and I think the same for all of them. So
Absolutely. And here's the thing, like you go to New York City and you can go to a Chinatown. The point being, it's a Chinatown. It's not New York City is the entire Chinatown. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And same with other countries. You go to Buenos Aires, they have their own Chinatown. We have little cultural spots, and we love and embrace that culture, but we don't want that to become the dominant then culture, because then that diminishes our values of what we stand for, where we're at currently. You know what I mean? And I think that's where Vance is talking about is like, hey, we do have American values. We do have, if you go to any other country, if you argue this with me today, like, and say that America has no culture, just go to any other country and tell us that it wasn't different than here. You know what I mean? Like, we definitely have a culture.
well, it's one of those things too. I believe that so Muslim, Islam. It's about occupying, you know what I mean, and bringing that culture over here too. They want to use it to eliminate ours.
There's a lot of clips to showcase that.
And so it plays as like, then it feels like that. Like if you're just trying to come over here, it's not a terrorist attack that's going to happen like 9/11 where it's going to take out, X amount of people and be a thing. It's a long overtime process that they want to use to bring the state of Islam to everywhere in the world, and they're going to do it by occupancy, by pure number, and being there and breeding themselves into the cultures and into the society. But again, then none of ours is respected. They want to walk over it, they want to erase it, and they want it to be obliterated from the face of the earth. Period.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And there's a lot of people. We're gonna get a lot of backlash from saying this, but I mean, it does stand to be true. Like, you look at Europe and they're fighting back right now against this. Like, their religion literally has, I think it was 123 passages that incite violence towards quote unquote infidels, right? So it's a very different type of religion, and I understand it's one of those conversion religions too. There's a lot of people that we met out at the No Kings protest that were afraid of Christian nationalism, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of reference to Christian nationalism.
Correct. So Christianity is also a conversion religion too. So I could understand, I did a lot of theological research where that could be concerning. But as far as, dismantling those concerns, there's no, in the further along with what J.D. Vance is saying, he's not really integrating necessarily Christianity into our governmental system. He's wanting to incorporate those values, those moral values, because he believes in those moral values. And we as a society generally are a Christian society. If I want to go, and it's case in point, if I want to go, I started going to Catholic church. You know that. I started going to Lutheran church. And coming out of incarceration, I found so much inspiration out of the Bhagavad Gita. I don't go to those churches because they're so far and few between. And there's I'm not even kidding you. My neighborhood in particular has so many churches. They're all some type of denomination of Christianity. It is evident that Christianity is embedded in this culture.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been part of the culture since we founded the country. And I think that's part of where people get, again, the line gets blurred because you want to draw the line between how I identify politically and how I identify religiously and or spiritually.
Correct.
It gets so blurry right there, and then that Christian nationalism thing gets thrown in. But I just don't see a lot of, even on that side, I don't see a lot of violence coming from the nationalists or
So here's what I like to do, case in point. And on our Facebook page, I do have the Truth About Open Borders video. The reason I have that there is because what we're seeing is primarily Hispanic immigrants coming here illegally, right? And what they're seeing in Europe is primarily Islam immigrants that are coming. If you look at, and I pulled up this data before, man, I wish I had it on here, but it pretty much shows, in a lot of these Middle Eastern countries, there is no other religion other than Islam.
Right.
And it is very much integrated into policy. They have Sharia law. They have all these different things.
Correct.
So what's happening in Europe and why they're revolting against this so much more than we are here is because now 20% born coming from Islam descent are now wanting to make these policies part of their culture, and that changes the dynamic, and they're fighting back. So that could essentially happen here if we allowed so many Islam immigrants to come on over. You know what I mean? That would very much be that next landscape. And that's what you talk about being that takeover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A very long takeover. They'll take a long time, but they produce more babies than we do.
Yep.
And eventually that's what would happen. They would kind of outgrow there,
Yeah, I think there's even parts, what is the book they call it? It's their Bible. It's called the Quran.
Mm-hmm.
There's even references, I believe, in the Quran that talk about occupancy and long periods of time of letting your culture slip in and take over.
Correct. And think about this, right? If you go to an Islam country, right, you're gonna hear that sound go off 5 times a day. And that's already happened in some American communities, and people aren't, happy about it.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? And so, that's where we could see a culture clash and a different set of values. Islam comes with a different set of values than Christianity does. You know what I mean? And but Vance is trying to keep it open. He just wants, these values to kind of be our core foundation values with Christianity. That's it,
Right.
Let's dive a little bit deeper in, and then we'll get through this.
Hello. I have a question about Israel and Trump's policy towards it. Do you think it's a conflict of interest for Miriam Adelson, an Israeli donor, to give millions of dollars to his campaign and then Trump have pro-Israeli policies?
Well, if you're asking, do I think the President of the United States has a conflict of interest? No, I do not, because I know how the President of the United States makes his decisions, and I see it behind the scenes. Now, as the President himself has said, Miriam Adelson, who, by the way, I know and I have a very good relationship with her, she is very clear about the fact. She doesn't hide the fact that she really loves Israel, and that is part of what motivates her political giving. That is a reality. At the same time, the President of the United States is...
She donated to his campaign, and now he has they're in opposition. I don't understand. Why would she donate to his campaign? She willingly gave money.
Pattison, her political giving has drawn attention, so she's not a political figure, but she is donating to political parties.
So this is who we're talking to, just so everyone can see.
Yeah, his concern is that she's influencing foreign policy. So that's what he's talking about on there. And she is Israeli, as you pulled up right there, so it's no wonder why she has interest in Israel.
Right.
The President of the United States is America first through and through. And let me give you just a couple of examples of this. Number one, we have heard from some pro-Israel voices, some people who really love the state of Israel, that they don't want us to have a relationship with certain Middle Eastern countries. Well, the president, his attitude is, we need to build relationships with any country where we have shared interests, and he's going to do it if it's in the interest of the American people, and he's done exactly that. Number two, there were people, and I remember this criticism of the President of the United States, I just raised it in the context of a conversation I had with Charlie. I remember when people said that the President of the United States was going to get us into a multi-100,000 troop regime change war for Israel.
That was their big claim going in.
This was 6 months ago. Now, the people who accused the President of the United States of wanting to get us into a regime change war for Israel, I wonder if they stepped back and said, you know what, we were wrong about that. Because the President of the United States did not want to get us into a regime change war for any other country. He wanted to knock out a nuclear facility and get everybody back home, and that's exactly what he did. So I understand there's some frustrations out there, but I think the President of the United States, more than any president of my lifetime, is willing to stand up to anybody if he thinks it puts the interests of the American people first. Thank you.
I love this. This whole open dialogue with the public is so cool, and it's coming straight from the vice president. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's strange too. So if you look at it from a non-biased perspective, even with hindsight, you can look at the communication that we get from the current sitting administration versus what we even saw from the previous Trump's first one with Obama or Biden himself. That was so unexpected. We went from having this in-person president that was constantly in front of the camera, doing interviews, giving interviews on his way to the helicopter. And even though everyone didn't like his mouth or whatever, we were constantly getting an influx of information, which is a standard he's held himself to on this term as well. But you don't hear anyone talk about that complete disconnect. You know what I mean?
Right.
That.
And mind you, Trump is not without his faults. There's a lot of stuff that he posts that is very much exaggerated, right? I definitely, as a social worker, feel like he places, makes a lot of statements based off of emotion as well. But what I liked about this event is more so that, Vance is answering all these questions very honestly. He's not covering anything up. He's being completely truthful and transparent about everything. He really sounds like a really great leader. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing, and not to make hype judgments, but this is the first guy that I've seen in presidency that doesn't have gray hair that looks like for some time that actually looks like like he's fit for long enough to be. I mean, Trump's pretty old right now. Biden was going through possible stages of dementia. And, this is a young man up here, well, fairly young, kind of presenting his points here. And the open audience thing is just so cool. I just love that because, they could come up and present these really challenging questions, and he doesn't have any impromptu, and he has to answer them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great to watch him field it, too. I like watching Caroline Levitt. She's pretty phenomenal.
The
press secretary. She's
she's
on point, man.
She is on point. She don't play.
Hello, Vice President Vance.
How you doing?
Good. I have a question. Do you condone large private corporations such as Palantir hoarding data caches on U.S. citizens?
No, I don't condone it. And here's the thing. So I get asked about Palantir a lot because there's this internet meme out there that somehow I am super in bed with Palantir. And here's the thing that I'd say about this. Palantir is a private company. They sometimes do a useful service, and sometimes they're going to do things that we don't like. You should be demanding that your representatives do two things when it comes to Palantir or when it comes to any other technology company. Number one, protecting your data. What's going on with artificial intelligence is going to mean that there are massive inducements to steal your data, to harvest it, and to use it against you to sell digital advertisements. That is not what I believe in, and I've been fighting against it, whether it's Palantir or any other technology company, literally before I ran for office. When I ran for office, I was criticized by Republicans in my Republican Senate primary because I was talking then about Google and Facebook harvesting our data. It's unacceptable. I don't care who does it. I don't want them to do it. Number two, and this is also very important, what's going on with artificial intelligence, we got to be worried about large-scale surveillance, okay? Everything. You asked about Palantir. Do you know that every time you make a credit card transaction, the credit card companies are collecting data on how you spend your money? Do you know that every time you linger over a link on the internet for more than a half second, the search engines are collecting data on you so that they can sell you advertisements? One of the biggest questions for American policy over the next 10 years is how to ensure that you are a sovereign citizen. And you cannot be a sovereign citizen if any private corporation or any government can steal something from you that belongs to you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that brings up I agree. I just curious where he would make those changes. That would be a question I'd like to ask.
What's going on with artificial intelligence, we got to be worried about large-scale surveillance, okay? Everything. You asked about Palantir. Do you know that every time you make a credit card transaction, the credit card companies are collecting data on how you spend your money? Do you know that every time you linger over a link on the internet for more than a half second,
I don't know. That one evaded me. We'll have to keep pushing on.
Okay.
One of the biggest questions.
I don't want to linger on this too much. You know what I mean? It's obviously very cool what Vance is able to do here. I think he highlights a lot of what we talked about in our power policy and immigration podcast. But we also got some really good juicy content that I want to get into. So let's start. Let's talk Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Let's talk Bad Bunny. Not the smoothest transition, but we
can jump into it from the clip. But yeah, so I want to get into this. I really do, and I wish that we had a way to do a poll of some sort. But in the comments, if you guys watch, we're gonna clip this. So here we go. I want to do a poll for if you're going to watch the halftime show on TV. Are you going to watch Bad Bunny? Or if you're going to watch Turning Points. Let me get a like for if you're going to watch Bad Bunny. And let me get what's the other one?
A love.
Let me get a heart if you're going to do watch the Turning Point event. If you're not going to do either, do another emoji, but they won't be counted in the overall poll. And we're going to try to figure out. I wish we had some numbers or some trending ideas.
I do got some numbers here.
What do you got?
I think the most important thing to note is that Bad Bunny doesn't sing any songs in English.
Correct.
There is no data that can be pulled that shows how many people in Puerto Rico, because Puerto Rico is part of the United States. That's where Bad Bunny was born. He is technically a United States citizen. How many of those people actually watch the NFL? We don't know. They do not have an NFL team. I do know that. So, when we get into that, it is 3/4 of the United States speaks English only.
Yeah.
So what
and it's okay. So
statement are they making in putting a Spanish only artist on stage in front of 75% of viewers are can't even understand him?
And then not only that, but there's some more underlying things here. So let's consider what is America's sport. It's American football is American football. It is one of our most coveted sports over all else, even more than soccer. And it's primarily just us. Like people now have leagues, but they're nowhere near the level that you see in the NFL. So that's like an American first sport, you know what I mean? Other sports brought here from other countries, like basketball and stuff are played more in those other countries. You see soccer, you see more hockey, you see basketball, even gymnastics. But football, that's kind of ours. So it seems like there's an underhanded thing going on here, and I'm trying to understand who they appeal to, because the Super Bowl is already watched by everybody. They say it's, there's more people watch the Super Bowl than voted for the president himself, or that voted in general, is a statistic I've heard somewhere. Not sure the validity of it or not.
Right. There is a lot of people that watch the Super Bowl. The NFL does not play all of their games in the United States. I mean, they sometimes
they
have
do
games
some
out
outside
in
of the country. Yep.
London. They have games in Mexico City. So I personally see this as an attempt to gain more Latin audience and draw that attention into the NFL so that they can gain more viewers, right? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, their money spends the same, right? So if it's a capitalist move for the bottom dollar, and then they're attacking a new target audience to try to get them to spend in the NFL, it makes sense in that sense, but I mean, honestly, who's going to watch the sport just to catch the halftime show? Even when the commercials were like the big deal that everyone wanted to watch. Oh, I just watch for the commercials. You'd hear that all the time because they were funny and they put a lot of time and energy into them. But people would still just watch the commercials. They'd wait till halftime. They wouldn't sit there and watch the whole sport. So
True.
if you're trying to develop interest, I think that this isn't the way to do it. And being such a large company with so many focus groups, and this has been ran under 1,000 people's noses by the time it gets to where they're ready to do it. And everyone's seen it, approved. Every little thing has been talked about. So to sit here and look at me and say that they're not having some kind of underhanded motive, I have to question that. I have to question the fundamental truth of it, because I can't see it without any. If I try to be unbiased and just see it as a move for like an advertisement move, or again for the dollar, I don't see a motive.
I think it's multi-layered. I think that's just one part of the motive, right? And I actually found some research just now that I think will be interesting. So choosing an artist, and here's in quote, choosing an artist like Bad Bunny underscores that the NFL sees the halftime show as more than entertainment. It's part branding, part cultural statement, and part strategic experience. So if
there's an extra push behind the timing. There has to be there, and I don't know what it is that's creating the sense of urgency, but if it's a move to get new markets like Puerto Rico, or even Hispanic markets or Spanish-speaking markets, it seems like it's a little bit a hard push to do it right now, with the climate being where it is,
right. So it's definitely
with immigration, that it's such a hot topic, and so there's something here that, and whatever powers may be that decide this, it's one of the things I'm talking about earlier, where it's like they see it coming from a mile away, and they can hear the audience, they can hear us, the end user, saying, but our voices must not be strong enough, because that's why I really want to know. If it's 50-50, then it's more understandable that they can't conform constantly. But when you're in the entertainment business, the name of the game is conform. You have to go to get, you have to cater to your audience. You have to.
Yeah. So I don't know what
that's where news gets jaded.
Do for the whole audience of the NFL. I think they're definitely gonna potentially lose some viewers, right? I think more people might tune out of the halftime show. I mean, obviously they will, because Turning Point is hosting their All-American halftime show. So there's gonna be people that tune into that instead.
Yeah.
So that's already drawing an audience away from them.
And so here's the likeliness too. And
I've been Allegiant fans.
I can see this. I'm going to get out in front of this and put this out now because we can clip it later, but I can see the numbers in this getting jaded when they look at the statistics, because here's the thing, and I want everyone to remember this going forward. When we look at these statistics afterwards for viewership, remember that not everybody that's watching Turning Point is turning off the TV to turn off the Super Bowl. It's not like we're going to get a 1-for-1 number here.
Right.
If anyone's watching Turning Point, they probably are also watching the other one because they want to know when the game comes back on or
Right.
what have you.
That's
The
true,
channel will
too.
already be on. So when we look at viewership numbers for that, we got to keep in mind most of them are still watching.
That's true too.
And take that number as a whole out of the viewership numbers for the NFL.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I can't wait to see the data for that. So let me spit some cultural relevance to this here, some information that I found. So New York Magazine said that the halftime show has evolved beyond simply being a musical set to a cultural music. The NFL's partnership with Rock Nation, which is Jay-Z's company, aims to make the show more culturally resonant. Choosing an artist like Bad Bunny underscores that the NFL sees the halftime show as more than entertainment. According to one analyst, it's a calculated business move, the league's strategy to rejuvenate and diversify its audience. So that's the cultural point that they're seeing this from, at least from the sources that I've pulled up.
And it's funny that we end up with the name like Jay-Z in there because all the people that we have seen involved with the ugliness of what's going on with Sean P. Diddy Combs, their names just tend to keep cycling around on these big talking points, this big halftime show with all this controversy, and it's always those ones over there on that side of the aisle that is it.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing that cycle back around and around where the power may be?
Right. So here's a quote from Gatto, who is part of the NFL. He says that the decision was carefully thought through.
Of course it was.
So he also noted that I'm not sure we've ever selected an artist where we didn't have some blowback or criticism. It's pretty hard to do when you have literally hundreds of millions of people that are watching. And now, mind you,
I can concede that point.
Bad Bunny is one of the most popular streamers out there right now, regardless of if the language is in English or not. So the NFL goes further to say that that's why we try to achieve. It's an important stage for us. It's an important element to the entertainment value is what they're saying. So, but this type of pushback has got to be much greater than having Taylor Swift on. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. I could kind of see the approach with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is hugely renowned in the United States, right? And she
and to be
captures a
fair, and
young
to give credit
audience.
to Bad Bunny, he does too. I mean, he's captivating. He's been on SNL. He's been on lots of our other TVs and
He
platforms.
starred with Adam Sandler and the
Yeah, it's not a knock there. It just seems like again the powers that may be are have some kind of deep ties in here. It feels too. The truth of it, I'm having a hard time denying, even to play devil's advocate, to not see some kind of transparency in the timing and how big it is. If nothing else, purely to keep people talking about it. There's a lot of methods that are applied, especially to end users of like Android phones, iPhones. You know what I mean? Where even if they do something that is a bad upgrade, it keeps you talking about it. So a perfect example is like the Android bar. You used to be able to pull up one side, and then you had everything in that one pull-down menu. Now you can pull down on the right or left, and you have to switch between them. It's terrible, but they know it's terrible, and they hear you, but they're doing it. They're leaving it purposely because it keeps it relevant.
I mean,
It
look,
keeps
we're talking about it right now.
it keeps the buzz alive, right?
It
So that's
definitely
it.
keeps the buzz alive, that's for sure.
So-
And I think that's the culture that we're in, is how do we keep the buzz alive? I think, and that's what's sad when it gets involved into politics, is keeping the buzz alive, because now we're seeing it go to those extremes, So, Bad Bunny, or you've got Turning Point USA is going to host their own All-American event. We would love to hear your guys' comments, your guys' feedback, what you guys are choosing to do, and maybe drop a comment and tell us why you chose to do that. We want to hear from you guys as our viewers, what choice you're making, where you're drawing from, like what do you think that we're sharing with you guys, and how are you guys viewing this?
Absolutely. As I want to ask too some of the non-Spanish speakers, if you guys happen to come across this video, leave a comment below. I want to know if you're a non-Spanish speaker and you listen to Bad Bunny,
I do.
Do you? And
I
it's just,
actually love Bad Bunny.
it's the beats and stuff that you're really drawn to.
I mean, I've always been drawn to.
And he has features of people that do English on his stuff, no? Or is it all Spanish, everything?
It's all Spanish, everything. But he's got this song called "De BTR Mas Fotos." It means like it's a really good like song that talks about like his elders, and he should have been there to take more pictures and spend more time with them. So I like Latin music and the way that Bad Bunny does it, because I've always wanted to be more involved in Latin culture. So I want to do something interesting here, and I want to try to integrate it into our podcast where we kind of do comment hour. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we had some good ones that I wanted to talk about on there.
So let's pull up the slide, and
We'll call it, we'll take one out of Brett Cooper's notebook, and we'll call this our comment section. So here we go. We'll come down and show you guys this one.
All right, so check this out. So these are some of the negative feedback that we've been getting. Let's put people in the spotlight for a moment.
Let's zoom in here for
The audience there.
yeah. So
it looks like Claudia Martin comes out onto our page randomly, and she says, "You are divisive as they come. Lots of fascist Nazi BS
Fascist.
on this page."
Nazi.
Oh my goodness.
That was quite divisive. What exactly makes us divisive?
Everything you do. You are a Nazi scum, and we could see all you.
Wow.
Right?
What video was this on? What did you got this comment?
So go to our page real quick. It wasn't even a video. It was a poll.
It's on our Facebook.
Yeah, it was a poll I posted on Facebook.
Here's our page, guys.
Yeah, check it out.
Facebook.com.
I mean, we love more followers on there. That's definitely what we need.
We're starting. We'll look back on this video hopefully someday and see that we've grown. So we're going into.
Let's talk about what unites us, not just what divides us, and then we start again.
So yeah, that's nice. It's an open, and then you're a fascist now.
I know, right? If I want to have open dialogue, I guess I'm a fascist.
So here's let's talk about what unites us. And then immediately is your divisive. We're gathering honest perspectives from every side of the political spectrum. Take the short survey and be part of Project Focus on Peace, Truth, and Real Conversations.
Yep.
And right off the bat.
Yeah.
What? And then what is the... let's take the survey.
Yeah. Let's do the survey.
You guys should jump on real quick to it. We'll take a look at it. Okay, so obviously... I mean, this is so divisive. I have to tell them.
What is your racial identity? Okay, political affiliation. Which of the following values best respect your priorities?
Let's see. I think freedom and personal responsibility is pretty high up there, but faith and family I think is number one for me. Barriers to my success. Me.
Procrastination.
Yeah. I probably am the biggest barrier.
How do you define success in society?
Oh, family stability. But that also goes in with financial independence. I think they kind of play.
Yeah.
For my family to be stable. I moved around as a child, you know. I was in home to home to home. God bless my mother. She did everything she could for us. But I want my kids to have a home that they grow up in. So
yeah, absolutely.
And then let's see, optimistic are you about the country's future? Well, with the driver being who it is, I am very optimistic. I just want to see a little more come to the middle. Yeah, I want to see a little more compromise being made. And it's impossible to say that, we always do. We always make the compromise. We're always willing to have the conversation, I think, but compromise is different. With the government closure the way it is right now, we need 7 Democrats to meet us in the middle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, however we need to get it done, but
yeah, I would just love to see like Trump's brain get installed into Biden's body, and they like switch. And then Biden is doing technically everything that Trump would be doing, and see if that made any bit of a difference. I feel like it's just hate that is blinding everything. Like literally at that protest, according to them, Trump did nothing good. Nothing good. But we have clear evidence that things are progressing.
The one guy got mad at me because I said that I had experienced an improvement in the economy.
Oh, he didn't like that.
And it was immediately to him my opinion, and I said that Trump improved the economy. And I was like, whoa, dude, you got from A to B real quick.
Yeah. How many soybeans now?
Yeah, I don't know.
How many soybeans have we sold? Tell me now. No.
We'll have to see what comes of the Bad Bunny thing.
Yes. So we'll continue to feedback on all of this. So what I would encourage you all guys to do is, man, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. We want to end divisiveness here. And we really need more followers. The way the algorithms work, we need that to be in place to have more followers so that we get more viewers. So we could keep things the way that they are, and we're gonna keep it there regardless. So it's just gonna take time. We're not appealing through emotion. We're not appealing to hate, and so that's hard to capture audience these days. You know.
Absolutely. Again, let us know if there's any specific content you guys like more than the other. We're gonna do some more interview stuff. We had really a lot of fun doing that. So we're gonna look at some other opportunities to possibly get out in the field and talk to some people on both sides. So hopefully we'll be able to bring some of that to you here shortly.
Yeah,
but I think
absolutely.
that's it for tonight.
Stay tuned, all. Thank you guys for joining us.
Carrying the One with Travis and Andy.